Here we go. Let's hope that I got everything set correctly. My name's Gary. We're having an online only rehearsal tonight because it's I don't remember the exact number, but it's like 5 degrees outside and snowing, and it's terrible. So let me go post our link on the website. Website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and they've changed the videos thing. That's interesting. And I'm not doing Twitter anymore because they got too weird. So we'll just post it on our website. Link to join jollyrogerukulele.com. If you are a member, you can get all the sheet music. If you're not, we have about 100 songs out in the public forum for you to learn how to play and do all that stuff. So go check it out. I'm sure you already have. That's why you're here. And then, let's see, in 3 minutes, we'll start the rehearsal, such as it is online tonight. All right, so that link is published. Let's make sure it works. View page. Scroll, click, and it opens up right where it's supposed to. All right, there's that. And those of you guys loading in, if you will let me know if you can hear me. That's always the one thing that I'm never 100% sure on. It looks like the audio capture is working properly, so we'll see if it is. Michael, hey Michael, good to see you. Michael's one of our authors tonight. We're going to be going through one of his songs. Diane, you're welcome, Diane. I know I'm not a fan of this online for orchestra rehearsal unless there's no other alternative. And then of course it's perfect, right? So Sue, welcome in. Linda, how are you tonight? Let's see. Laurel, hello, Laurel. Manette is in from up in Colorado mountains. Red is it? Red says she's freezing. It is. I just checked. My phone says it's 7 degrees. Let me just make sure that that's the truth. And for those of you guys that live in other parts of the country, I know 7 degrees is a normal winter temperature for us. For in Denver, we're pretty sure that we need to get our wills in order because we're just not used to this kind of temperature. So, it is freezing. Hey, Jan, welcome in. Gary and Ree are in together. Good to see you guys. Jacqueline, hello, Jacqueline. Are you in Denver or are you down in Texas right now? I can't keep track of her. You can hear me just fine. Good. Jean is here. Hey, Jean. Jean, we keep moving rehearsals all around on you. Glad you're here tonight. Sound is good. Thanks, Sue. Karen is in. Hey, Karen. Good to see you. Michael, good evening. Sound is good. Kari is in. All is good. And Kari, hit your caps lock button. You're screaming at us in text. Arlo is in. Hey, Arlo. Oh gosh, and Gary Ann 13. I forget who that is. Hey. Hey, Elizabeth. Oh, it's 4 degrees up in Greeley. Yeah, four guys. That's the kind of temperature you have when you are I don't know, when things are going to heck. Amy is in. If anyone wants to see each other online, click here for separate video chat on our Facebook group. Oh, how fun. So you got the video Facebook group. That's too complicated. I'm glad we have Amy. Amy's our tech guru, so thank you, Amy, for setting that up. Critter, welcome in. Hey there, even cold down here in southern Utah. Yeah, windy and a bit of snow. Oh, yeah. See, we're having a time. It's sort of snowy a little bit out there, but not. It's just cold, right? I was out driving around today, had to go to school, and I had to walk from my car into one building. And I was so mad by the time I got there. Too cold. Linda is in. Hey, Linda. Cindy, greetings. Mike Gail says Audacity can't read friends in low places. That I don't think is true, Mike. I just pulled it up in Audacity myself, and it pulled up just fine for me. That's weird. Yeah, it was weird because I was going to make sure that the volume settings were fine, and I pulled my copy up in Audacity and it went just fine. So try it again, Mike, and see what happens there. But it worked for me. Okay, how about that? Katie, good to see you. Michelle is straight out of Thornton here. You're in Denver. Okay, I was pretty sure you were. Hey, Pele. I know. Marcos puts up with us, but we know it's you. We can't seem to fix the glitch in the chat box with the wrong name, but I'm here. Okay. I know who you are, Pele. Rita in from Chicago. It's 8 degrees in Chicago. Now, the difference is in Chicago, it's supposed to be 8 degrees, right? In Denver, it's supposed to be 55 and sunny every single day in the winter. Yeah, no, I know. Poor Chicago. My goodness, you got to be tough to live there. Lindy says it is stinking cold. It is so cold out there. Yeah, I have a really cheap guitar that I take over to school, and even it I was worried about today. I'm like running through as fast as I can through the quad, trying to get into the building, going, oh, but please strings don't break. I don't care about the rest of the guitar. I just need you to work once we get there. So yeah, stupid cold. Linda's in. Howdy. Mame is here tonight. Sandy, good to see you. Sarah is in. Present. Sarah's one of the youngsters, and so she's been to school recently. She knows how to do this. Yeah, to have her try it again. Thanks, Mike. Mame is here. Mame is here. Very good. It's very exciting. Hey, Susan. Good to see you in from New Hampshire. So New Hampshire, what temperature is it in New Hampshire? It better be less than 7. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Hey, Betty, welcome in. Betty is our resident Fermata expert, and we've given her an altogether new piece of Fermata to look at. And Jerome is here. Your hair's moving from your head down to yeah, I want him to look more like you, Jerome. So yeah, so I decided I'm just gonna let it go. See what happens. All right, so we got most everybody in probably at this point. Good to have all you guys. I hope not too many people didn't read their email and are now standing outside up at Grand Street wondering what the heck happened. So I guess the thing to remind everybody is please read your emails. Check your emails prior to coming to rehearsal every Monday about 5 p.m. Make sure you've checked your emails that you've gotten something from me or haven't gotten something from me, right? Because things happen at the last minute, and I don't want anybody ever standing outside for no reason. And so good to have all you guys here. I was just going to peek and see. We have 41, right? That's pretty good. That means 20 people are unaccounted for, but we'll see what they come up. Well, hopefully they'll be here momentarily. Patty's in. June is here. Chris is here. Susan. It's 34. Okay, it's 34 in New Hampshire, you guys, and it's 7 in Denver. So that's not right. Jerry is in. Hey, Jerry. Betty is from hold everything. All right, nice, Betty. Caitlin is in. Hey, Caitlin. Let's see. We'll have a Philip is in. Good evening, Philip. Andre, good to see you. He's in from Germany. He checks in. It's like, I don't know, 3 in the morning or something there. Good to have you, Andre. Ma'am, your screen's all messed up. Well, fix it. Let's see. John and June are both here. Bruce in from Rebel Stroke. It's minus 10 Celsius up in British Columbia. All right, so Bruce is winning. I don't. Here again, if you're in British Columbia, you're like, yeah, it's supposed to be cold. Let's see. Friends won't load for me. Synchronization problem. All right. So, guys, I don't know. I was able to load friends just fine. So, I guess what I can do is I can run it through. I can go ahead and update the MP3. But we're going to use it tonight for rehearsal. And then I will post. I'll run it through my Audacity thing that I always do and repost it so that it has a clean setup, the same as all the other ones I do. And then... hopefully that will solve your problem. Let's see. Oh, minus 10 Celsius. Thanks, Bruce. Yeah. Don't give Americans the metric system. We will fail. That's what we know. We tried it once back in. Remember we tried it in the 70s, and we were like, no, we're not. We can't divide by 10. It's too complicated. Let us have our 12s and our 8s and our 6s. Okay, so couple things. We're going to run over the 2 songs tonight, Friends in Low Places, and then Marnie's song True Colors. So Cyndi Lauper and Garth Brooks. That's pretty good music tonight. And I know, again, not an ideal situation, but I want us to have a chance to read through everything. We have 1 or 2 songs left to post, and those will be from John. I just haven't had a chance to dig into which ones. He did a whole bunch of them, and so I just want to find the ones that have really the most likelihood of being pretty straightforward and easy to play, and that will work quickly. And then I will post those 2, and then that'll be it for large group. Small groups, guys, I know this is a terrible week to have to miss, but I know that you're getting things up and running. Those of you guys that are either new and want to join a small group, I'll talk to that next week. We have a lot of opportunity. If you have a song you want to do and you don't have anybody to do it with, I'll find you somebody to do it with, okay? If you're out of town and you want to submit a video of a song that we might consider for having as a part of the thing, I've always invited you guys to do that. I don't recall anybody ever doing it, but if you can get a small group together there in your neighborhood, let's say you have your local ukulele group, have a chat with them and say, hey, let's put together a thing. Maybe we can get it on, maybe we can add it into the show. Let's see. Karen made it in. Did I say hi to you, Karen? Sorry. Glad you're here. Cindy and Dave on the couch, sitting comfy. Nice. Just watching reruns of Friends. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. Play ukulele, watch Friends. I don't know. Let's see. 3 o'clock in Germany, and it's 4 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's like 75 degrees, I think. Linda, just 34 degrees yesterday. All right, and Christy, wasn't able to download the new I Met With You. Yeah, this is crazy, guys. I mean, I've had no hiccups whatsoever with the website or the MP3. So, I don't know what to tell. Maybe it's just too many people trying to use it all of a sudden right now. I don't know. Give it a second try, and I will repost Mike's MP3, and we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Yeah, so the small groups, we'll talk about it specifically tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next Monday, okay, when we're all together. The weather's supposed to improve. All right, let's talk about how you use these MP3s when you're at home practicing. Well, I tell you this all the time, and I mean it. Don't try to play the whole song all the way through. That's crazy. That's just never going to work for your practice sessions. Go find those places in the songs that is not going well for you and work on those sections, okay? So if I'm looking at Friends in Low Places, that's the song I want you to have up in front of you, and I see the first measure, and I'm playing low G, for example. My first measure is a 4 and nothing else. I'm not going to spend any time. Next measure is 0, 1, 0. I'm not spending any time thinking about that. High G, your first measure is a 1, and then you've got a 0. I'm not spending any time working on it. That's going to go fine once I get into the orchestra situation. But if I go further down, when I'm looking at low G measure 4, I see 4, 4, 2, 4. Well, that I might have to think about because I got a 2 and some 4s. That's going to be an awkward hold. I might think about studying that measure by itself to figure out how I could play it that particular measure. I'm looking at low G 4 and measure 6, 4, 4, 5, 4, 7, 4. Well, I know, having played forever, all I gotta do is slide up my fingers to the 4th fret, and I have all of those notes covered, and so no reason not to just make myself a little 4 right above that measure, and now I know to get my hand in 4th position. If I am looking at high G, and I'm looking at measure 5, I see 2 A chords. I'm like, that's not a problem for me. I should be fine. And then I'm looking at the next measure and I see a B flat. And I'm like, oh boy, now I'm in trouble, right? So be practicing that moment right there, getting from A, and then sliding up and getting a B flat. You want the secret? Here's the secret. If you're playing high G and you're on measure 5, you're thinking, there's my A chord. Now I got a B chord in the next measure, and I got, oh gosh, now I got to get everybody refigured out. Just do your A chord instead of doing it with those 2 fingers. Do it with those 2 fingers. Blink, slide up, B flat. You're done. Okay, and then. So it's just that simple. I haven't tuned this, so I better do that while I'm chatting with you. The takeaway here is, you do not need to practice entire songs for ensemble work. You do for your solo work because you have to be able to play the whole song, hopefully from memory without thinking about it, which is not true for almost all of us. The other thing I think with ensemble music is the hard stuff is going to be hard clear up to the moment that we play the concert. And that's why I want you working on just those sections that are hard for you. If the whole entire song is too hard, right, which can happen, then you start picking out individual moments within a song. Hey, maybe I can only get the first note in a measure, or maybe I can just get the zeros. I'll play all of the zeros in the entire thing. And getting them in perfect timing is a meaningful musical goal for you. So be thinking about those things as you're practicing at home. It really is, especially with the ensemble music, to be trying to play the whole entire song 3 or 4 times through. That's just not even musical. Find the places that are tough to do, and then work just on those sections. Next, we all bought the Kool-Aid, right? So you have one of these in your hand. Hi, Barbara. Friends in Low Places, January 16th. Yes, you are correct. All right, here it is. Okay, click on this. Your cat comes up, right? Open up your thing, put in your secret code, and then another picture of the cat shows up. Now, I have downloaded an app called, what's it called? Tempo Slow-Mo. Okay, and if I click on that, this is what comes up. Okay, let's see if I can get this where it's sort of good. All right, that's the thing that will help you practice the hard parts in the songs that you need to work on. Okay, so in other words, I've downloaded the app on my phone, and I don't know what it is on iPhone. It's similar. I think it's called Tempo Slow or something like that, but it doesn't matter. They all work the same. And basically there'll be a big dial on there that slows the song down. You can also use YouTube if you decide to go listen to the orchestra rehearsals. There's a little gadget on there that you can click on and slow the songs down to play along with them. So those are two different ways of doing the same exact thing. Now, what I did, I went over to Jolly Roger and I downloaded. You have to physically download the songs into your phone in order to get them to work properly with the slowing app. So what I did, I downloaded it into my files. Download. I'm looking to see. It just is a list of all the things I've downloaded, and I click on Friends in Low Places and ask me which app I want to use, and so I'm going to use Tempo Slow-Mo. And then you see up here at the top it says Friends in Low Places, and we're ready to play. Okay, and it wants to play it at 100%, and so let me just click play on this, make sure it's working. Okay, so if you don't know the song, okay, those of you who aren't Garth Brooks fans, here we go. This is what we're going to be playing, and you want to use the conductor score because that's got everybody, and you're going to find your part mixed in with everybody else's part. Now, we used to publish individual files for each part, but that in and of itself is not particularly helpful. It's helpful to you the first time. You really need to know how to play your part in context with the whole entire group and how to count it, obviously. And so that's part of my job, is to help you make sure you're counting things correctly. All right, now let's play. Okay, so I've got the song on my phone. I've got it loaded up into Tempo Slow-Mo. I'm like, I'm not going to play it anywhere near full speed to start off with. And since you guys have been doing this a long time and are pretty good at it, even though it's a brand new song, I'm only going to dial it back to about 90%. You can play songs too slow and then they're hard to play. So just dial it back to 90%, maybe 80% if you're really digging in and working on a specific section. And then what I want to do is I want to count through and read through the whole thing, and you're going to play just your part, okay? So as you know, always I will go ahead and count you in and do this little deal, and I'll tell you what measure we're on, right? So when you get lost, you just figure out what's going on with that measure. Now, it feels really weird to conduct sitting down. So, and again, remember, generally speaking, all this is just for show, right? It's to help me figure out where beat 1 is. Beat 1 is the only thing that should matter to you. Where beat 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so 1 is the important beat, and then you can parse out the rest of the measure, generally speaking, pretty straightforwardly. Okay, so I'm going to hit play. We're going to make this thing happen, and we're going to see how you playing along with us. And remember, we're only doing this because it's freezing here, and otherwise we'd have a whole orchestra here. We're doing this exact thing. All right. The other thing you're looking for on a first read through is, 1, where the trouble spots are going to be, and 2, if there's any notation on here that doesn't make any sense to you, this is the time you ask. You're like, I don't know what that means, and that you should never feel stupid about asking that stuff. All of the time, guys, I've done a little bit of music in my day, and all of the time when these guys send in their writing, it's normal for me to send an email back. What do you mean here? What's this? What are we doing with this? What did you want to have happen here? Because as a writer, you can't think of all of the possibilities of things that people are going to wonder about. And so this is the time we have that dialogue to get to see if this song's going to make it. Okay. All right. So here we go. Ukulele's up, and whoop. Stop. I have to start it from the beginning, don't I? Let's see if that... Oh, that's the volume. How do I start from the beginning? How do you return? How come that doesn't light up? Oh, that's so fascinating. Back. Let me do this. I'll just reopen it. Friends in little places, just once. All right. Should be at 0 now. All right. Let me turn it all the way up. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4, 13, 2, 3, 4, 14, 2, 4, 15, 2, 3, 4, 16, 2, 3, 4, 17, 2, 4, 18, 2, 3, 4, 19, 2, 3, 4, 20. Now it's going to sound familiar. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. All right, I'm going to stop us there for a second. I'm gonna see if I can back this up just a smidge. You notice on the MP3, that's the problem. All of a sudden it gets much faster, right? And so we've got to be ready for that. I was not. And I'm going to back this up just a little bit. No, that's from the very beginning. Oh, shoot. I'm going to start us over from the top. Apologize. So measure, and so in other words, 90% is going to be too fast when we get there. So I'm going to dial it back to 85%, and that'll give us a better chance at making 21 work correctly. All right, so I need to make myself a note. You can miss that one completely. That we got a big speed up here at 21. So now we have to be ready for that. All right, from the top. Whoops. And go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, and 13, 2, 4, 14, 2, 3, 4, 15, 2, 3, 4, 16, 2, 3, 4, 17, 2, and 4, and 18, 2, 3, 4, and 19, 2, 3, 4, 20. Let's get ready to go faster. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 2 and 3 and 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2 and 3 and 4, 8, 2 and 3 and 4 and 9, 2, 3, 4, 20, 30, 31, 2, 3, 32, 2, 33, 2, 3, 4, 34, 2, 35, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 7, 2 and 3 and 4 and 8, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 41, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 43, 2, 3, 44, 2, 3, 45, 2, 3, 46, 2, 3, 47, 2, 3 and 4 and 8, 2, 3, 49, 2, 3 and 50, 2, 3, 51, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 53, 2, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2 and 3 and 4 and 8, 2 and 3 and 4 and 9, 2 and 4 and 60, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 62, 63 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 2 and 3 and 4, 6 and 2 and 3 and 4, 7, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 72, 71, 2, 3, 72, 2, 73, 2, 3, 74, 2, 3, 75, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 77, 2, 3, 78, 2, 3, 79, 2, 3, 80, 2, 3, 31, 2, 3, 82, 2, 3, 83, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 4 and 5 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6, 2, 87, 2, 3, 88, 2, 3, 89, 2, 3, and 90, 2, 3, 91, 2, 3, 4, done. Okay. All right. Couple of thoughts. First of all, any questions you have, post them up in the chat box. The main one thing I notice is you've got some double. The measures have double lines between them. I talked to Mike. Mike worked on them. Could not figure out why they're there or how to get rid of them. So ignore all of those. The only double line that's going to matter is when the thing speeds up. And you know, when we're in person, when you're playing in person, it won't be quite as big of a deal as it is when you're listening to MP3. It's like one speed, clink, new speed, right? We tend to speed up a little bit less dramatically that way. But at 21, that double line will indicate to you, hey, we're going into a new section. But the rest of the double lines throughout here, you can ignore those between measures. The other thing I saw as I'm watching this play through is that for the most part, Michael's given you really straightforward, not terribly complicated stuff to play. So find those parts that are hard to play for you and really just dial into those few smaller areas. That way, when we get together, when we play, the stuff you're not wasting time on stuff that's easy and you have already taken a look at seriously at the harder stuff. Also, pay attention. You do have triplets in here from time to time. For example, low G measure 11, you got those triplets, right? And you know how to count those now. 1 and 2 and 3 King Kong, and so that's how that measure is counted. And I saw somewhere else where there was a triplet. Just take a minute to. That's where the MP3 is super helpful. Is when you see something on the sheet music and you're like, I have no idea what that is. You go listen to the sheet music, listen to the MP3, and you can hear. What it is that's happening in the sound file, and it's there right there in front of you. Critter says high G measure 9. It's tough to grab those 4. So let's take a look at measure 9 for high G real quick. Measure 9. High G. Yeah, 2 4 4 4. Now that's not common. We don't do those a lot because I cheat them. Okay, that's 2 4 4 4. This is an E chord, so you're 2 here and then 4 4 4. That's going to be kind of tough, right? Bum 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 bum. That's a little bit tough to get. Now you know when I'm doing arrangements, I always give you a bar on 4 and a pinky on 7. Bum 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 bum. But Mike does not need. He doesn't want that high sound here. He wants this lower sound. So one of the things you can do is index finger and then these three. That's an E chord. Okay, very common in guitar, not particularly common in ukulele because it's hard to get it on in that little tiny confined space that we have. So hopefully I'm showing you well enough. Index and then these four. That's the chord shape that you would put on there. If that's not going to happen, just put a bar on 2. I'm sorry, a bar on 4, and then don't play the 2, right? Bum, bum, bum. Or I'm sorry, top, middle, and then just ignore and don't play the 2, right? Or you could go ahead and play it. I don't know, nothing bad will happen. Dun, 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 right? Then you'd be playing that note. Everybody else would be playing that note. I would be playing that one of these notes, that note, right? So in any event, what we'd be talking about is if the 4 4 4 2 is too hard, just play 4 4 4 nothing, okay, with a little bar there. See how handy bars are. What else jumped? Nothing else jumped out at me, guys. So hopefully. Makes sense. I didn't do a great job reading the baritone parts, guys. So baritone players, but particularly, if you could let us know if there's anything on there that's super scary. I will say measure 15 for baritones. You guys get that the minor 7th shape. That's when in this case your index finger is going to be on 3, middle and ring on 4, and pinky up on 5. Now, lots of you guys that took private or tough uke stuff with me are very comfortable with this D minor shape where we put the pinky up here on 3. That's that D minor 7th, right? And the beautiful jazz sound. And so for baritone, you guys are looking at measure 15. You're just up on the 3rd fret, making that exact shape. It's a beautiful shape. Beautiful jazz chord in there, and obviously you're in a deeper tuning, so it's not that sound, but that's basically the idea. Plucking or strumming, Michael, I know you're online with us. With the chords that you have done here, do you think strumming those chords is going to sound better, or plucking those? And hopefully Mike is listening. I know he logged in, and he might give us an idea about whether he wants plucking or something. And then, of course, if he's not sure, then we can always try them both ways once we get together and figure it out. Amy says it's fun. It is fun, isn't it? Cindy, yes on chord strumming or plucking. Thanks, Mike. One of my favorites. Isn't that funny? It never even occurred to me that Garth Brooks was around in the 80s. And of course, that's probably when he was getting famous. And so it's kind of fun. I love the fact that of the songs that got turned in for the 80s, I knew them all, but a couple of them I was like, yeah, that's the 80s. And then a couple of them are like, that is not the 80s. That is a stupid song. But I don't know. I shouldn't think like that. But yeah, so hopefully this one's going to play well for you. And again, I think Mike did a really nice job of putting this together. Well, when we all get together and we can hear it better, that'll be great. You hear the clinkety clankety clonk sound of Guitar Pro. It's always a joy to listen to those sound files. And so just so you know, MuseScore has better sound files, guys. Let's see. Baritone measure 90. The second note should be an A tied to the last note. So go to measure 90 if you're on baritone, and bum bum ba-dum bum bum. So baritones, you're the only ones playing at measure 91. And Jerome, you think that should be tied there? Baritone measure 90. The second note should be an A tied to the last note. The last note is, I'm looking at the bass. Bass actually plays it. The second note, so baritone measure 90. The second note should be an 8. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. You know, Jerome, everybody else is playing a second note that's different. I now see what you're looking at. Bum, ba-dump. Yeah, it's got a ba-dump, a feeling to it. So now I see what you're talking about. Um, we'll take your suggestion as advisement at the moment, and then we can double check that when we all get together, whether that makes sense. But everybody's low G, high G, and baritone all have an untied note there prior to the final note, and then everybody has an A on that last note. So let's see. It looks like baritones, you guys have a the C. Yeah, everybody's playing a C note and then the A note. So, and it's a C sharp, of course. So let's take that as advisement at the moment, and then we'll talk about that when we get together. I didn't notice that as I was playing through it. I thought, seems fine. And June says measure 91 is blank. Yes, measure 91 is blank for everybody except bass. I was misreading those lines. So yeah, you should have a blank 91. And the bass will finish it up. Bump, ba-da-dum, bump, 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 kind of thing. Okay. Let's see. Just a full rest. Yeah, measure 91 should be blank for all of you, except for the bass player. Good. All right. Anything else you see we need to chat about before we move on? True Colors is really phenomenal, and so I want to. Not that this isn't, but I'm a Cyndi Lauper fan. I went to her concert in 1984, I think, at the Boulder, the basketball stadium up in Boulder. With my dad. It's about the only thing I did with him as an adult, and yeah. So huge Cyndi Lauper fan here. All right, yeah. Okay, so let's move on. And if you have other questions or something else, toss them in the chat. We'll chat about them. All right, let's go take a look at True Colors. All right. Now on the MP3 for this one, it starts out kind of quiet, and then as it goes along, it gets louder and louder and louder. And so be thinking about yourself as a player that you're going to start off kind of quiet, and then we'll get louder and louder and louder as we go along. Kari, it looks like we got 50 concurrent online right now, so I think that's probably going to be the number we have. All right, True Colors, performed by Cyndi Lauper, written by Steinberg and Kelly, we have a few 16th notes in here. Marnie's done a great job of giving us some dynamics. So remember, when you see MP, that means mezzo piano. That means you're going to play a little bit quieter. Now, remember, when it says a little bit quieter, you're on a ukulele. You are magically, automatically at the loudest possible setting that you can play. You're still pretty quiet. So when we work together in large ensemble, we'll decide how mezzo piano really is. But you'll be a little bit quieter, right? And then when you see MF, mezzo forte, that means you're going to get louder through those sections. Mezzo forte, and then around measure 34, she takes you all the way up to forte, right? And so that's when you're playing as loud as you can play. Well, at 55, she has an even louder, a double F, double forte. Okay, so we'll be working as hard as we can to do what Marnie wants us to do with dynamics. So when I'm working on a piece of music, I take my yellow highlighter. You always have your yellow highlighter, right? And just go through and highlight the dynamics. That way I'm not ignoring that. It's really easy to play everything mezzo forte and forget about dynamics. And so if you at least put a yellow highlighter on there, hey, I'm supposed to be getting louder, I'm supposed to be getting quieter. It makes you sound more professional, makes us sound better as a band too. If we play everything at a consistent volume or a consistent tempo or a consistent 4/4 or whatever is consistent, that's fine, it works great. But if we can be a little bit more sophisticated and adjust tempos and adjust volume and adjust counts and this sorts of thing, it just makes us seem like we know what we're doing, which we do, right? All right. What else should we talk about on this one? It'll be quarter note equals 86, so it's not a fast song. I don't remember having a tempo change in it. Let me peek and make sure I'm not lying to you. I think we were going to run this thing just as written. Okay. Betty, we have a fermata on the very last note. For those of you who are new, I coach you always on your last note, last chord, whatever it is. You hold on to that until your ukulele disintegrates into dust. Do not let go of your last note. Do not let go of your last chord ever. Okay, that way your ukulele can be completely, totally silent and done and dead before you ever take it off. But in this case, Marnie's been very clear. You are going to do that for sure. We want that note to just ring out as long as possible and go away like that. Okay. Counting will be a little bit more challenging with this one. Remember, when you have two notes tied together, that's just one pluck, right? And when you have dots, that makes that note 50% longer. So a little bit more complicated timing. All right, let me pull it up again. Cat, secret code. Okay. Go to your downloads. Grab the song. It says which of all of these little things do you want to use? I say I want to use tempo slow. I'm going to slow us down to about 88, okay, and percent, and then I'll put us here, and then God willing, the creek don't rise. It's going to play true color for us. Okay, ready? Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, and 3, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, and 9, 2, 3, 4, and 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, and 12, 2, 3, and 4, and 13, 2, 3, 4, and 14, 2, 3, and 15, 16, 2, 3, 4, and 17, 2, 3, 4, and 18, 2, and 3, and 4, and 19, 2, 3, and 4, and 20, 2, 3, and 21, 2, 3, and 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 6, and 2, 3, and 4, and 7, 2, 3, and 4, and 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, and 4, and 30, 2, 3, 4, 31, 2, 3, 32, 2, 3, 33, 2, 3, 34, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 6, and 2, 3, and 4, and 7, 2, and 3, and 4, and 8, 2, 3, 4, and 9, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 40, 2, 3, 4, 41, 2, 3, 42, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 45, 2, 3, 46, 2, 3, 47, 2, 3, 48, 2, 3, 49, 2, 3, and 50, 2, 3, 51, 2, 3, 52, 2, 3, 53, 2, 3, 54, 2, 3, 55, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 57, 2, 3, 4, 58, 2, 3, 59, 2, 3, 4, and 60, 2, 3, 61, 2, 3, 62, 2, 3, 63, 2, 3, 64, 2, 3, 65, 2, 3, 66, 2, 3. Just hear how we shut that down like that? Wasn't that cool? All right, beautiful. Back in pop music back in the day, they'd just go repeat and slowly fade out. Right? You imagine some guy with a big knob going, right, turning it down. That's actually what they did too. Couple thoughts. Number one, you high G, you have a choice of playing the high G line or chords. Okay, so this week, how about when we get together this week? Why don't you bring both? Okay, bring the chords and bring high G, and then we'll see how many people would want to play what and how many people want to play the other. A lot of times when newer people come in, they're like, man, I want to play chords. Then they find out that the chords we play around here are a lot harder than you'd think. And so I don't like to just say new people play chords and older people or more experienced people play melody, because I think a lot of times that's the opposite of that. A lot of times I think you got to be pretty good. Now these chords are not brutal, but they are definitely not your garden variety chords. So bring both to rehearsal next week, and then we'll make sure we have enough people playing both the melody line as well as the chords. So that's just for high G people. Low G people and baritone, you guys know what you're doing. Let's see. Hey, Kat, welcome in. Oh, Jerry had to take off. Caitlin, it is fun, isn't it? It's beautiful. I mean, it's hard for me not to like Cyndi Lauper. Laurel, very nice. Critter, nice one. Good. Seems like a winner on that one. Yay, good. That's exciting. Good job, Marnie. Great arrangement, Marnie. That was beautiful. Okay, so we got so far so good. I don't necessarily see anything that should trip you up terribly. With this one, we'll be balancing it to make sure that the melody stands out clearly above the accompaniment. And so we'll make sure that those of you guys that are playing high G, and to a large extent low G as well, we're going to want you to play loud, okay? So that we can make sure that the rest of the accompaniment is doing the dynamics that Marnie's looking for. Let's see. This will be ages. Yeah, old people versus new people. That's not at all. It's not ageist. It's performatablist, I guess. Who those people with experience and those without. Where that'll eventually be against the law too, huh? Philip is doing this. Michael. Okay, so Michael is in. All right. So now, so it sounds like we got pretty clear. Don't see too many questions jumping out. Remember with 16th notes, we do have a few 16th notes in here. I try to make the writers minimize those as much as possible. They're very decorative. Most of the time with a 16th note, in order to perform them, you're probably not going to have enough time to do thumb, right? You're probably going to need to do thumb, index, okay? So in other words, when you get to a 16th, let's say we've got to play this note twice, okay? 16th notes are fine as long as the tempo is pretty slow, and on this song it is pretty slow, so you may get away with those. But a lot of times if it's a faster tempo, you have to go down and then back up. To get your 16th notes in. So be aware that's a different technique that we don't often talk about, because basically I try not to give you guys 16th notes very often, and certainly never on things with a fast tempo. You might be, but just be aware that they're in here. They're going to sound really, really cool when we get to them, because she's using them exclusively for decoration, and they really do work. And so go through and maybe just put a yellow highlighter on them when they show up, so that you know, hey man, I got to really boogie through these things. What else do I notice? A lot of tied notes. Make sure you know what you're doing with that. Read through. If you're going to do chords, read through and make sure that you know what the chord shape is supposed to be. I'm assuming we will strum these, because this is a nice, soft, flowy, beautiful song. I'm assuming that we will probably strum them. I think that's about it. Okay, so now let's. Mike's here and says, let me make sure. Michael says, for the E chord in Friends, the lower strings the lower string 4 and upper string 2 are the same note. I dropped the string 4. Ah, how about this? You didn't even think about that, duh. If you're on high G, and remember we were talking about this is an E chord I give you all the time. Bar on 4, pinky on 7. Okay? Mike's giving you the more guitarish chord, which is index finger on 2 and these 3 fingers up on 4. Okay? And what he's saying, and which is absolutely true, when you're in this position, this note on the bottom is the same as this note on the top. So you don't need to play. So you could literally put a 4 on there. Bum, 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 bum. Whoop. Thumb, index, middle, thumb. And then you're playing exactly those same notes. So smart idea, Mike. I should have. When I was young, I thought I was going to turn out to be smart and ambitious. Know that neither of those have worked out. Kari says lovely. Let's see, Elizabeth. I really like these two pieces. They're both beautiful, right? They're really, really nice. And then Mike says he's plucking the chords, you guys. So make yourself a note that we will pluck those at least initially and see how it goes as a large group. Now, it's already 7:46, so, and being online is exhausting. So we're not going to play the other stuff tonight. However, we're not going to play it as a group. I've given you some really lovely ideas to think about with this. What I would like to do next week, we're going to have 1 or possibly 2 songs from John that we're going to use. Additionally, John's tapped out a whole bunch of other stuff, and if you are in a small group, or if you are in a small group and you need a song, or if you are not in a small group and you'd like to form one or like to try one, I will write down a list of the songs that John tabbed out and that I don't think I will use in the large group stuff, and you can use one of his things. They're all done, and you have access. John is very good with attendance, so you have access to somebody who is more than happy to fix those up for your small group if you need them. So here we go. We have sheet music and ready to go. This is the coolest part about what we got going on with the orchestra these days. We have so many talented people doing so many cool things, and it's just really it's just nice to know that if you need something, we can make that happen. Let's see. Linda says, strum or pluck chords, timing on the chords. So Linda, for the Garth Brooks song, Mike is saying, hey, he's plucking those. So it would be just a plain old pluck. For Marnie's song, the Cyndi Lauper song, I think we're going to be doing a nice down strum. I think. Okay. And until we get to everybody together, I'm not 100% sure. But so at least at the moment, think about plucking Michael's and strumming Marnie's. Okay. And I think just a single strum, at least for now. Elizabeth, what songs are you working on? Well, I am going to send out an email with that, with the songs that John has available, so that you guys will know what you can choose from, and then those that and I'll take first pick of the ones I think are going to work best as large group, and then there'll be others. I'd have you do all of them, but we have enough from other people as well. And so, one, John, thank you for working so hard to create so many songs. But I want to make sure that already we got a mess of songs, and so we'll work them all out. Let's see. I had to drop off, so I'm behind on the YouTube. Oh, okay. All right. Other thing, here's something cool, okay? Amy, who did our programs for us, is working with me to make Celebration Night a very big deal. Like, we're going to go someplace nice and have a nice evening and do the whole thing and invite people to it and all this. So those of you in small groups, I think I scared some of you, and I'm hopefully motivated all of you to be ready and have the best possible thing you can put on May 1st. Now, I want to make sure you guys are 100% clear on this. You can only do what you can do, right? When you do the best possible thing that your group can do on May 1st, and there's no barrier to getting into May 1st. You can bring whatever you have done and ready to go and present it on May 1st, and it'll be a great night. It'll be super fun. And then Amy's working on a whole thing, right, about providing audience input and so on, so that we can select, with Gary getting final say, obviously, on what goes into the other concerts, right? So you can't get into the big concerts without performing on May 1st. Okay, that's not complicated. You should be planning on putting it all out there May 1st. Costumes, timing, not lighting, maybe. Costumes, timing, comedy, not comedy. All right. Best singing voice possible. Best ukulele skills. All that. Get as much as you can ready for that night, May 1st. That's our small group night, and then we'll cherry pick out those off of that, who would be into the larger concert or into the regular concerts. But Amy sent me an email this week. She says, "Got a plan. We're going to do this and this and this." And I said, "All right, it's change. I'm not so good with that." And so we're going to try to make May 1st, I believe, a really big night for small groups and to celebrate all of the hard work that you guys do. And so I will get you more details. Pyrotechnics. I just saw Philip said, "Yeah, well, that'll be the night that we burn the place down." And so we will I'll give you more details as they develop, and I'm super excited. Yeah, the concerts could last as long as, think of it this way. Most of these 80s songs, most of these 80s musicians were one hit and they're done, and now they own a bed and breakfast in Mississippi. You think of it that way, right? May 1st is your one-hit wonder night. Let's see. So it should be fun. It should be fun. Again, those of you guys that are out of town, don't think you're out of it just because you're out of town. This makes videos. You can just point it at yourself and make a video, and then you send it to me. You're planning it to put that video together on April 28th, and then whatever, and then sending it to me through Dropbox. So I want you guys. I want worldwide small ensemble night for May 1st if we can, and so make it a big deal for you guys, and don't be thinking about it as this weird audition type thing, because that's what we have done in the past, is that in order to get into the big show you got to audition May 1st. That's what, and so I'm wanting to think about it differently. Like, this is the night for small group performances, and then we'll find which ones we like. The audience seemed to have the best reaction to, and the things that we liked and the things that I liked, we'll move them up. So to that. So let's see. I do remember my email being so. Yeah, those of you who haven't worked with Amy before, please know that she is bossy. Let's see. Exactly. Yeah, Sarah. Now Sarah's doing it right. Okay, so there's more songs to be done. Next week we'll probably toss in one or two of John's, and then we will start going through the list, right? I imagine we'll just start alphabetical. So let me just tell you. So you should have in your book, Come On Eileen, God Bless America, I Melt With You, 9 to 5, Queen Medley, Where the Streets Have No Name, Whip It, Troop Colors, and Friends in Low Places. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 songs plus 1 or 2 from John. That's not all of those will make it into the concert. Okay, not all of them will make it, but we won't know until we play them through a few times. Most of the songs, after we go through these initial read-throughs, I give them a couple of shots, and the ones that aren't going so well, we just go ahead and take them out, right? And it always kind of bums the writer out because they worked hard on it, but some things sometimes work and sometimes don't. I can assure you that the person who's had the most songs pulled is me, right? I've written the most, but I've also had a lot of things that I wrote that just was like, what the heck is going on? Sometimes it works on the computer and it just doesn't work in real life. So no, it's not a personal thing, and just sometimes things don't work. So we'll start doing all those. Make sure they're in your book. You've worked through the hard parts. Go through and find those places that are challenging for you and be working on those. Don't work on the easy stuff. You know how to play that. Not bossy, she is the boss. I'm the boss, dang it. I am still the boss. I'm the boss. I'm not the boss. Never have been very good at that. I was the boss for way too many years for real, and I just never really quite caught on to the fact that I'm supposed to take things seriously. All right, that's it for tonight. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for putting up with an online rehearsal just because of the weather here in Denver, and I want to keep as many people safe as possible. I think that's all I needed to talk about. That's all I need to talk about. So you guys have a wonderful night. I will see you soon, and I'll obviously toss me an email if you have questions, comments, or concerns. And from there, we head out. Peace.